you slide in a tank dragon's cannon like a sleeping bag and you get coated in some of that Big J juice, can you get bred or breed a dragon? So let's talk the lore from the maiden manual. Before I answer the obvious question of can you have an offspring with a dragon, I think it's more important that we talk about the societal impacts of having an offspring with a dragon. Because of the lore that exists within my mangas, there are 3 dragon havens. You have Mount Motra, Castellan, and Estrus within Bayshire, which is where the goddess of the void, Cypher's holy city is. There are some laws that you need to be aware of. So let's start with the one that I've actually drawn out the lore for, Castellan. Castellan is within Mount Motra and is also a protectorate of Mount Motra, which is overseen by the spirit of fire and metal, Igni, the father of red dragons. And I need to be clear that Castellan has a different set of laws and culture than Mount Motra. Think of it as what a state would be to the US. Mount Motra gives its overarching laws, and then Castellan has the right to make more local laws. As long as they don't violate the federal laws, they're good. The thing about Castellan from a historical standpoint is it has had a lot of issues having a stable government, because they went from a dictatorship to a stratocracy, which means it's ruled by the military. And then it became a parliamentary democracy, and after 25 years, it was switched to a newocracy council, which means it's ruled by the wise. But there were some doctrines that were passed within the time of the stratocracy that impact people today. And the most important ones that apply to you, my non-draconic friend, are the draconic safety doctrine. And what that simply says is that you as a non-dragon have no parental rights to the Drakeens, aka half-dragon. Whether you are the father or the mother, it does not matter. You have no rights. The dragon parent says you can't see your child anymore. Guess what? Legally, you stay the hell away from it. To be clear, there is no legal process for getting access to your Drakeen again. There is no family court for dragons and non-dragon parents. And then 15 years later, after that law went into play, Avaclad, the supreme general of the government, passed another law, and it's called the Safe Haven Doctrine. And this law specifically affects non-draconic women. And you can thank a human woman for this, because her plan back in the day was to go get impregnated by a male dragon and then run out of Castellan and then sell the baby or abort the baby and give its remains or body to the highest bidder to break down for components or whatever they wanted. And eventually the government caught on to this and said, wow, we're never letting that happen again. So if you are a woman, you go to Castellan and you get pregnant, or you are pregnant and go to Castellan, you are not leaving, because the government says we cannot guarantee that that child inside of you is not a Drakeen. Therefore, for the safety of the Drakeen, because there is such a high demand market for parts of Drakeen, you are restricted from leaving. And they will come hunt you down and drag you back to Castellan. But to answer the original question, can you breed or be bred by a dragon? Well, according to chapter